So this speech is about marginalized identity, and my marginalized identity is cognitive disorder or learning differences. It's personal to me because I have a processing issue, and that's kind of affected my life going through school and getting a job and up through pretty much I don't know, my entire life. Um, it, it, it's it's kind of a marginalized identity because I have a feeling that the identity of America is to have like is to have like is to breeze through high school, college, get a job with no problems, and it like they don't the I guess centered identity doesn't really recognize that there are people who have struggles with either with I don't know processing, or they have learning disorders, which isn't that which makes it not as easy for them to get to where they want to be. So that's my identity. So when I said it affected me through school, I actually had to go through some physical therapy on my left side because when I was a kid, my left side was paralyzed, and so I had to go through some physical therapy, and now obviously my left side's better. I can use it regularly, but I remember when I was in elementary school, in grade school, I would have my normal classes, but at the same time I would have these special I don't know, I would say like assisted help resource classes. And I remember one time I for on I mean honestly I don't remember exactly how this helped me, but it did. I remember one time um, we had to blow I had to blow a cotton ball like to a certain point with a straw, and um, I guess I can't really explain why that helps me, but I had to have assisted um, assisted help or some more help in school. Um, on top of that, I mean, I guess it was like partly a physical disorder too, but it's also I'm gonna focus on the I guess learning disorder part. When I was in school, I had to do some more like resource oriented or like some extra help classes, um, just to get through. Yeah, just to help me get through school. So when I was in middle school, I went to a special, well, not specialized school for I guess for people like me, to help me deal with my disorder. Um, so I went to middle school at a school called Star Academy, which was a whole school for kids to get extra help. And I remember in middle school, I had my friend. I had in grade school. I had like three friends that were all going to separate middle schools, but they were like schools like White Hill, and other middle schools. I guess other regular quote unquote regular schools. And so when I explained to my friends that I was going to Star Academy, I had to explain like my whole, my whole like learning difference, and it was a little weird for me. Um, it didn't seem very normal to me. It wasn't normal. I didn't really fit into that centered identity that I guess America or our society really accepts. So, so so that I mean, growing up, that was weird for me to admit to my friends, like, or not even admit, tell my friends that, um, I had a learning difference and I needed to go to a special school for it. Um, and that kind of lasted, you know, through high school. It was still weird in high school. I remember I was telling my my friend Steven um, that I mean we would talk about what classes that we're taking at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, and so we would have to in high school we would take our picture, get our schedule, um, that whole thing, what you would do at high school orientation, and I would get my schedule, hoping I would have most of my classes with like some people I knew, um, and so we would share our schedules, and everybody would ask, like, Jordan, like, what classes are you taking, or like, Jordan, like, what are these certain classes, and it was just extremely weird to like admit, like, no, this is like my extra help that I need. Um, I mean, as I got older, it got easier for me because that's just a part of who I am. But growing up, it was hard to admit to myself at like in middle school and in high school that you know I am and I was a little different than I guess other or normal people. Um, and then now that I'm a young adult, I just kind of think about I like I guess it's anxiety. You can call it anxiety, but I think about how my learning difference kind of affects me in an economic way. Like you know maybe some employers won't treat me the same as like everybody else. That's like they by law they need to, obviously, but like psychologically and in my head, like I think I'm gonna be like stuck at a grocery store bagging groceries for the rest of my life. That's that's not the case, but that's just kind of what I think about. That's like my worst situation. Um, that's my train of thought, and then it's just like you know, I have a small feeling. I have like a small feeling in my gut where it's just like I need to work harder to get where I needed to work harder than other people to get where I want to be, which is true. But it's like when I screw up, it's like I'm like left on the street, or you know, it's I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like I guess like there's like an economic um, struggle where it's like I won't get treated the same by an employer or get paid the same because I have a learning disorder, um, and so that's obviously not the case, but it's an anxiety of mine. So so yeah, I mean those are the things that that I think make my marginalized identity important because you know I think you know I guess for people who fit into that you know centered or like that I guess ideal identity or like perfect identity, whatever you want to call it, um, I I think they kind of like look over or don't give I don't know people like me a chance to to work hard and you know give credit to people who have a slower time um, getting to where they want to get to, and so that's, I mean, it's kind of important to, shed a light on that, even though it takes me or someone like me, um, longer to get to where I want to get to. I can strive to be, whatever I want to be. It's just going to take extra time, or I'm going to work, you know, harder than, somebody else. So thank you for listening. Cool.